and just the way I feel about myself. And like we say in the office, confidence is sexy, and I'm a true believer in that. And I've gone on this journey with you, and we've started treating other people, and I share my story. The more we talk about it, the more I realize that this is a real situation in so many people's lives. And then we started having people come in from different states. And then now we have people coming in from different countries. And being that we have this place in the city, 520 North Michigan Avenue, so it really doesn't get better than that. It allows us to really kind of navigate people that come from out of town, also the people that are in the city that may not want to come out to the suburbs of Willowbrook, to have you there. So ideally, if we could clone you, Dr. Cheung, and put you in 50 million different locations, that'd be great. But I'm a believer that we could all be living such a better life than what we're living now, and it starts individually.
What's interesting is I think being forced to be in close quarters with your family, your partners, a lot of people are kind of realizing that, how they live on a day-to-day basis, they're so busy, they're distracted, they may not be focusing that on their own health and realizing that things can be better. You sent that really funny video to me the other day, choose A or B. Would you rather be stuck with your family? What was the thing? It was, do you choose A, being with your what was the joke?
It was the best video. It was just a man who was being interviewed, and he said, with the coronavirus and being, contained in your home, what would you rather be? A, with your wife and your kids, or B? And he immediately chose B, not even knowing what B was.
Right.
So I think that everybody's, they're feeling the close quarters.
And we laugh about it, in our own office, because all of us are on hormones and, we're happy with them. But I think people just don't realize how much better it can be, right? Even for yourself. I mean, you didn't have your hormones for 4 years, 5 years until it did happen. And how would you describe that change of experience of your life?
Well, it affects everything. I mean, the way you feel, the way you, really everything from sleep patterns to how I look, how I feel about myself, my energy. I mean, there were often times it'd be 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I'd want to put my head on the desk.
Right.
The hot flashes, because that was a real thing for me.
And it's funny because people think it's just sex is libido, but it's way more than libido and sex. It's how you're thinking, right? It's how you wake up in the morning, like with your feeling rested, with your mind working, your energy throughout the day, like you're saying, your mood, right? It's huge, because we all know when we're going off our hormones that we get much more irritable.
I'm gonna pause you for 1 minute to get off my Bluetooth, because people can't hear you talk. So hang on one second.
Okay.
Yeah, hang on.
Look at Jaimie with her cute hair. Hi everyone out there. This is Facebook. Tara, how are you doing? I'll say hi to you in the meantime. I shall drink my iced tea. You know how I walk by iced tea all day around. Okay, so just want to announce, please feel free to text in or type in any questions or comments you have. We're here to help you, because everyone has some cabin fever going on. We were just talking about hormones, and Jaimie was saying how much she loves them. She's been on hormones for about, is it 4 years now or 5 years now? I don't know.
No, it's been about 3. I know, 3 years.
Okay.
But the nice thing about that is, thankfully, it's 3 years, and it wasn't 5 years.
Oh God, okay.
It wasn't, I mean, that's the part, is I look back and I think, thank God that you intervened when you did, because I could have gone 10 years.
Yes.
Yeah. And for my kids, the irritability, or my husband and the miscommunication and all those things, thank God I didn't wait any longer to have you regulate my hormones, because what wasted time that would have been.
Oh my God. And yeah, we were just saying how hormones are not just it's not just sex and libido. It's your mood. It's how you are in your relationships. It's your health even. It's a good thing. It's good for your heart. It's good for your bone density. It's good for your metabolism, right? And we just want to always say, this is a very safe procedure. It is, the risk of breast cancer, uterine cancers is decreased with bioidentical hormone pelleting, because I know a lot of patients are afraid, and it's a lot of miseducation. But, bottom line, we love our hormones. They're safe. Do them if you don't feel great. And being stuck at home with coronavirus, it probably makes you realize that maybe things can be better if you're not on your hormones. Yeah. Tara's asking, is this a fresh batch? I don't know what she's talking. Oh, iced tea. Yes, it is a fresh batch of iced tea. Thanks, Tara. So how are we all doing? I mean, is Marty happy and you're chill? You got your hormones, was it a week ago? I feel mine kicking in as of today, I feel.
I'm
Right?
so glad that we did that when we did, because I don't know how that would have gone.
It would have been an essential procedure that we have, driven over to do, because we don't want to be without our hormones.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the amount of message I'm getting from people that are like, you are essential to me. like you're essential.
Nice.
It's like, how come car dealerships right now are essential? Like, I need my esthetician. So
yes, we
I
do.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Although I decided Botox is not an emergency, sadly. Although we do think it can be sometimes. We're kidding. Yeah. So what are you doing for your stress relief now, Jaimie? Are you taking your dog for walks?
Yes. And, it's funny because sadly, Marty and I really didn't just go on walks together before we got a dog. I'm sad to admit that, and it really, for those that have just joined my family, we just got a new dog a couple days ago. And it really kind of has also forced my kids to get off electronics right now and spend some good time just wholeheartedly with the dog. And so last week, Marty and I, we went for a walk, just the two of us for a while, and we were able to have adult conversation, which was really nice.
It's kind of nice because the weather's actually getting better, right? And the dog just keeps on going, and you're just like watching the dog, and you're not looking at each other, but you can talk together. The silence, no kids bugging you. How many times do you go out a day? 3 times a day?
Yeah, I mean, we're making it a little bit more just to kind of get them acquainted with the area, but hey, it's fresh air for the kids. What else? We're all in the same boat. It's like there's only so much you can do.
I mean, some of the silver lining in this coronavirus situation is we're actually slowing down a little bit and kind of, getting off the crazy whirlwind that we're on every day, right? We're trying to maybe eat healthier, work out a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. And just be with our family and reconnect, right?
Yeah, I think, sometimes, like you said, it's a silver lining, but sometimes you have to take a step back. It's a forced step back. And sometimes you and we don't sit still very well. So a forced step back is maybe not this lengthy, but it's okay sometimes.
I'm staying off the internet, as I check it about a couple of times a day, not much, because I think the internet can make us a little bit more stressed out. Do you feel that way too?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure out there with social media and the internet. I mean, look at the industry that we're in too, and the pressure that it puts on people. That's why I love that we always in our office talk about everyone just being the best versions of themselves. I think people out there feel like they need to be someone else, and you don't.
No.
And that's when your hormones come into play too, because when you feel the best that you can be with your hormones and being regulated, you don't need to be anybody else but yourself, just a good version of it.
But you also look the best you can be too, because you love what estrogen does for our skin, right? Because I do tell you more glowy than usual.
I do love my BioPal, the EmiPal. It's a staple in my skincare program. So
what's new with your skincare program now that you have a lot more time? Because you do the 5 minutes in between. Are you the one who does that? Because I don't do that. I'm the pump and glob. You might be. So what is your skincare routine now? Because we're gonna have a contest to guess whose skincare is what. We have Tara submitted hers yesterday.
Yeah, I am very regimented on my skin. I have to be. I mean, you have to be. I love every product that I use in my routine. I use it for a specific reason. And yeah, I would say my morning routine probably has 7 steps. I know you would never do it, Dr. Cheung.
No, I do. I just pump and gloss though. So I mean, how much time do you really wait in between?
I only wait maybe like 30 seconds in between. That's it. I mean, it's not long periods of and then my nighttime is a little bit more, set back, but yeah, I take pride in it,
So step 1, what did you do today?
Well, step 1 is to cleanse, of course. Immediately after I cleanse, I put on my Omni Restorative Skin. So that's your growth factor. It's the first thing that you want to hit your skin after you cleanse it. After that, I put on my vitamin C because I unfortunately spent many, many years of my life in the tanning beds.
And the purpose of an antioxidant is to help absorb that damage that I've done over the course of the years. After that, I put on, gosh, I have to think of my steps. I put on my Emipel, but I mix my Emipel with some BioPel daily.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll use my Elastin moisturizer. And then I might use 2 different eye creams.
Because you're obsessed.
Well, I am. You know, I just, you know.
They have different pros and cons, yes. Mm-hmm.
They have different roles. But you got to take care of your skin at home. I mean, you come in for treatments, and that's wonderful. And I want everyone to come in for treatments, whether they're small treatments or they're big laser treatments. But what you're doing at home every day, that's what's going to be the key.
So you don't do Elastin neck, huh?
So I do not. And I keep saying that I am going to get it and I am going to do it. There's absolutely no excuse for me not to be, because you should be treating your neck the same way that you treat your face. Because
I Botox your neck, and I do think you'll need less Botox if you do start using it. Oh, God. Well, not as bad as first.
This is when we know we're on hiatus.
So have you been playing with any at-home devices, you know, like LED lights or rollers or microcurrent mask that you did try and love?
So I did really like the microcurrent mask. We have that in the office. Dr. Cheung was kind enough to give all the employees one for Christmas in our big sack. And it took me a little while to use it, but I did. I really liked it. At home, my at-home treatments really are, I love the Cheung weekly pads, which is glycolic acid. That's my go-to. And I will use a little bit of a scrub every now and then on my skin for like an at-home treatment. But other than that, I like to really do in-office treatments to give the skin, you know, the boost, and then my at-home a little bit more mild.
So I had my second scarlet. Well, my first one to the face, like what was it, a week ago, a week and a half ago? We did the same day, right? And I'm kind of loving it, you know. It was the second time to here, so I do feel very tight over here. I need some filler though.
Yeah.
But yeah. We never have time to treat ourselves. I did zap myself the other day, for everyone can see I have little weird brown spots all over that I have covered up right now, but that was pretty fun. I actually numbed myself with injectable numbing on whatever day that was. it Monday?
Oh my gosh.
And I stood in the mirror and I basically grabbed my thing and I stuck the needle in there and I was like, oh, didn't hurt that much. But then when I zapped it, that's a video I sent you guys. Totally, it's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So one of the silver linings is we get to treat ourselves, you know, with all the downtime and procedures now. It's a good time to do these things. Are we eating healthy? Because, you know, I'm not around to police you guys from, you know, the junk that can go on at work. I see sometimes, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I got to tell you, being in the house has not been the easiest thing. Mm-hmm. But, of course, everybody is all for promoting local businesses. Mm-hmm. So we want to, you know, kudos to all the restaurants out there that are really taking care of their employees and giving back. I just put something on my story the other day about Capri and Burridge and how they were making sandwiches for the homeless, which is awesome. Nice. And Pierce and Fuller House, they're giving 20% off to the sales to their employees, their staff. And so everybody's hurting. So of course in the house, you know, we're trying to support and eating as healthy as we can. Tonight, we're having burgers on the grill with some Brussels sprouts. No bun, Dr. Cheung. So,
wait, do you have like a magical recipe for Brussels sprouts that your kids will actually eat?
No, I'm going to order them from Standard Market.
Okay. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. Yes. Today is like National Restaurant Delivery Day or something like that, right? I saw that from my Uber Eats driver yesterday. or DoorDash, whatever we ordered yesterday.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. So how about you? How are you doing at home?
So, well, I was going to do my prolonged fasting mimicking 5-day, diet because it's supposed to reset your immune system and make you healthier and all that stuff. But it's really hard to do that at home when you have kids because they don't eat like I do. And so my kids were shocked, like mom's eating ice cream because I had ice cream with them a couple of times because I did. And what else, because they don't really see me eating junk normally. I haven't eaten chocolate. I'm not a chocolate person, but I did have ice cream.
Well, here's the silver lining in all that is that when this is lifted and everybody can get out of their houses, Crystal will be really waiting for everyone. We have 2 cool sculpting devices. We have an M-Sculpt. So one of the best parts about working for you, Dr. Cheung, is that you've got the best of every tool out there. So Crystal will be ready to have everybody come in. And
no, I will be the first one though, because I got out of the shower today. I was squeezing my belly and I was like, oh my God, dang, I have some sort of stuff I can squish again. And so I was like, I'm going to need to come in maybe before we fully reopen. Well, I'm sure we're going to be pretty busy when we reopen, but I think the scheduling is going to be a little crazy for the first couple of days.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm pretty sure, there'll be some gaps in Crystal's schedule and I'll just hop myself in because I need to be cool sculpted, definitely. Kind of depressing. So I love how Binny's has been declared an essential business, right? Do you get emails from Binny's, by the way? Because I do. For some reason.
I don't.
I think we have a business account or something.
Do.
No, but they're like an essential business. And I was like, so every day we get to be updated about, their hours and stuff. And I'm like, that's really sweet because I'm not I can't really drink much alcohol because I don't have any, I don't have my enzymes. But I was thinking of today we should do some like virtual happy hour with the whole office. It's Wednesday though, but we should all kind of be like, okay, how's been our, wine is not that bad for you, but all in small moderation. Have you been drinking some stuff?
So one of my girlfriends gave me a little front door delivery yesterday as a surprise and put my favorite Trader Joe's wine right on my front porch. So that was a very nice treat.
Is that the peach prosecco that you like?
Yeah,
or,
it's peach moscato and only Trader Joe's has it, but yeah, it's great.
We know Jamie's favorite. Sometimes you need it. The good news is the human liver can take a lot of abuse. That's why I tell people, but just don't push it too far. It can. It's actually really shocking. I have been drinking less caffeine, although I do love my coffee. I don't have as much because the days are very slow. They just go by. I'm the teacher. I have to do homeschooling. It's been painful.
And it's hard. I have a whole new appreciation for what those teachers do every day in the classroom with our kids because that's a tough job. I
think my kids have like ants in their pants half the time. Like, I don't think you can sit up and run around like you do at school, like during your stuff, right? Yeah. So the big question is, have you been taking your supplements, Jaimie?
Yes. Well, for those of you that have joined us, I am a terrible pill taker. I do not like taking pills. And Dr. Cheung has saved the day by bringing in some sublingual medications into the office, which is awesome. So that's been a saving grace for me. I'm loving taking sublingual glutathione. Now you talk about my glowing skin, and I really think that is between the combination of that and the estrogen. I know you did. And game changer. I'm loving it.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you kind of feel maybe a little healthier too, because it's a really good antioxidant for your whole body.
I do. I feel as a whole. Yeah. Well, and that's only going to also help the immune system too, right?
Right. Totally.
Antioxidants. So no excuses.
No excuses. You got to take your DIM as the sublingual, right?
Yeah.
I have all my supplements here in a little box, and I have to say there's probably about more than 20. I don't take all of them every day, but I do my best to. So yes, I have my zinc, my iron, my D, my Bs, my glutathione, my adaptogens, my GABA, my NAD, what else do I take? My liposomal C. So, what's interesting is there's hospitals in New York that are doing a protocol now for the coronavirus patients, 1,500 milligrams of vitamin C intravenous 3 to 4 times a day to treat that. That came out of China because they found that patients who were septic, they had very low vitamin C levels. So I don't know if we want to add to this whole hysteria, but I do like my vitamin C topically and also in your body.
Yeah, that's awesome. You take a lot.
Well, I have a lot of, because, so some of the other bonuses during this time is because we have this time on our hands now. I'm doing a lot of reading. So, you know how we had that ultrasound machine in the office, right? And, they're actually doing protocols for lung ultrasounds now for the coronavirus. I'm reading my ultrasound book. I'm going back to my radiology days, right? Because that's what I do. I'm a dermatologist, but I did take radiology back in the day. I'm also reading about, Jaimie, are you doing any reading for fun or for work at home?
No.
Not really.
For work, yeah. What's so nice about a lot of the companies that we work with, and the skincare companies and the fabulous devices we have in the office, they're all having webinars. So it's a great way for the providers to really take this time to, touch up on their education and make sure that we're always bringing our patients top notch.
Yeah, we get more time to get ourselves better so that we can serve our patients better when we reopen. One of the other things we have to do is we have that new scheduling system that we kind of have to go live with when we go back to work. But I think patients are going to love that, because they know checking in, checking out has been a big hassle in the office. Even when you're, checking out with your skincare, it's hard to program into the system. So that's one of the silver linings is when we come back, we'll be ready to do that. But also education. We are probably, lasers are all up to date, trained on that. But I'm reading all my books about, photomedicine and stem cells. Oh, right. Another photomedicine handbook. Oh, you can't even see that because it doesn't, oh, there you go. Isn't that cool? So this is what Jeff recommended, because we know that the Photona, the protocols we do for the hair, we think we're just activating stem cells with that heat. It's photobiomodulation, whatever that means. But he has a theory that when we do the night lays, we stick it up your mouth, he thinks it's hitting your brain and helping to get stem cells in the brain. And that's pretty crazy. So
that's amazing.
You're gonna get smarter, maybe. Well, think of it you're getting the blood flow in that area, right? And it's age, related cognitive decline, functional, whatever, right? You're talking, but that's his theory, and it is interesting. So think of that.
And with zero
discomfort. Well, yeah, totally. I mean, none of the dynamics is unheard at all, those protocols. But you talk about the penis laser and how we're lasering it, we think we're activating the stem cells that live in the blood vessels and the nerves, right? So if you think about doing that kind of similar protocol anywhere on the body, the hair to get the stem cells up in the soft palate to maybe hit the brain in some way. So that is why I'm reading this, because it'd be really cool to do a study on that at some point, within our office or something. So
that's pretty cool.
Of nerdy stuff. So anyway, we've been on for about half an hour, so we're gonna get off soon, but I just want to say, hopefully your marriage is gonna survive coronavirus. My husband sent me an article from, I think, CNN or something that he reads online, because he was mad at me yesterday because I'm a very messy person. He's like, can your marriage survive coronavirus? So what are some of your tips, Jaimie? What are some of your tips for having your marriage survive?
Well, I think it's a balance of a little bit of space, but also that a little extra communication. Now, one of the best things I did for my marriage was I read and learned my husband's language of love.
We love the 5 love languages. Yes.
Yes, I do. And, it really makes sense. As Dr. Cheung, as you know, I am a words of affirmation person, and my husband is touch. And so if I just even put my hand on his shoulder and tell him, I love you, to him, that means so much more than, just, hey, have a great day, I love you. So once I learned his love language, it really sparked something different in our marriage.
It's all about the communication. Did you make him take the quiz, or did you just kind of figure it out on your own?
Oh, no, we took the quiz together. And I was actually thinking, well, if that works for your marriage, why shouldn't I do it with my kids? And so I think that that's something on this little lockdown time that we're going to do, is to have them do a little test and let me figure out the best way to communicate with them, because we all have our ways. We all have our different ways.
You're such a good mom. I think there is a book that is the 5 languages of love for kids. I'm pretty sure there is, but you probably just take the quiz, the regular marriage one, figure it out, right?
Well, and I have a 12 and 13-year-old, and so hormones are, raging. And so if I could learn a better way to communicate, I'm all for it.
Yeah. I think humor helps too, right? So my kid's been reading from the Best Dad Jokes book, and they tell dad jokes now, which are really not that great, but we laugh because it's daddy jokes.
Yeah, I love it. But they're reading, which is great.
Oh,
media.
Oh, I am kind of crazy about it. I actually made a spreadsheet. I made an Excel spreadsheet for all their homework because I was like, I can't keep track of it all. There's so many: articulation, language arts, math, choice, fitness, optional, social. I was like, what the heck? So I made a spreadsheet, and they think I'm crazy, but they check it off every day now. Like, I've trained them. So anyway, closing, reach out and hug someone for 6 seconds. What's what we say. Talk to your doggy or your cat. You know, it's good to have our pets right now. A little bit of distraction. Anything else you want to say before we say bye? So this recording will be out, I believe, we'll put it out on the cloud somewhere, I guess, for those who can watch it. Tune in maybe next week, but follow us on social media because we're gonna have some fun contests. Like, we're gonna guess whose skincare is what, or what skincare is whose, basically.
Well, now they're gonna know which one.
No, ours are all pretty similar, but we got some, randoms in there. I have some randoms. Anything else you want to add, Jaimie?
No, I think, those of you that have any suggestions of things that you want to hear from us, we would love to know what you're looking for, whether it's a specific treatment or injectables from Dr. Cheung, or for, she's the cowboy in the industry with all the latest and the greatest. So this is a great time for us to educate you on some of the things that she's doing. But I think really from me, that's it. Thank you everyone for joining us. And I just want to say before we go, just thank you to everybody that works at the front line and everything that everyone's doing. They're putting their lives at risk for us, and it's much appreciated.
Stay safe, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We'll maybe see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, recording. I'm going to stop the recording.
We had 31 people on Instagram.